Hello my friends, we are getting a new subclass. It's going to be the Lunar Sorcerer. This is coming out in Dragonlance, the Shadow of the Dragon Queen, which you can currently pre-order. But a little while back, D&D Beyond released a blog post that kind of begins going over it. This isn't the actual features as they will be read, but it kind of gives us an overview. And I wanted to check that out and share it with you guys. This is a bit of a first impressions look for me. So starting off, it says, when you choose this subclass at first level, you can channel your magic through the power of the moon's phases: full moon, new moon, and crescent moon, unlocking different abilities and skill sets for each lunar phase. Oh, that's cool. We have 3 different modes that we can change into. At level 1, we get Lunar Embodiment. As a Lunar Sorcerer, you'll learn a whopping 15 additional spells as you level. Additionally, whenever you finish a long rest, you'll choose whether you're channeling the power of the full moon, new moon, or crescent moon. When you choose a phase, you can cast the associated first level spell once per day without expending a spell slot. So 15 spells is a lot of spells. That's more spells than the Clockwork and Aberrant Mind. They get 10 and 11 respectively. So that's a chunk of spells. And it seems like we get 3 per level. So at our first level spells, we get 3. At our second level spells, we get 3. And each one of those spells is associated with either the full moon, new moon, or crescent moon. Now I believe that we can still cast all 3 spells, but whatever phase we're in, we can cast that first level spell for free once per day. Also at first level, we're picking up Moonfire. You learn the Sacred Flame cantrip and can choose to cast it at 2 targets within 5 feet of each other instead of only casting the spell on 1 target. So this is basically like the Death Domain feature that lets us use our necrotic cantrips to hit 2 people as long as they're within 5 feet of each other, or another comparison is Acid Splash. But Sacred Flame is a solid cantrip. 60-foot range, radiant damage, D8, and a dex save. All of that comes together to be a decent cantrip, and is well worth using if you can hit 2 people. At level 6, we're picking up Lunar Boons. Each lunar embodiment phase becomes associated with 2 schools of magic. Whenever you use meta magic on a spell from a school of magic associated with your current lunar embodiment phase, you can reduce the sorcery points spent by 1. You can do so a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus. This even works on meta magic options that only cost 1 sorcery point. So basically it's saying proficiency bonus times per day, you're essentially getting that many more sorcery points. That's pretty sick. So what I'm getting from this sorcerer subclass so far is very efficient resources. We're getting free spells and free sorcery points so far, as well as more spells to select, which we all know is sorcerer's Achilles heel. So this is going to be a powerful sorcerer. Also at level 6, we're picking up Waxing and Waning. Now you can shift your lunar embodiment phase on a whim. For the cost of a bonus action and 1 sorcery point, you can enter a new lunar embodiment phase. In addition, you can cast 1 first level spell from each lunar phase once per day without expending a spell slot, provided you are in the same lunar phase as the spell cast. So now those 3 first level spells that we're going to get, we can basically use a sorcery point to switch over and use it for free. So we're going to be able to do 3 free spells per day at the cost of 2 sorcery points essentially. And so it's good that we are recovering our sorcery points in other ways. So again, it goes back to that efficient use of our resources. I wonder if there's going to be other benefits of switching phases. I'm also wondering, because it does mention that there are 2 schools associated with each lunar phase. That's how we're reducing our sorcery point usage. So I'm wondering what those schools are. So it's kind of cool that we get this first look, but at the end of the day, there's still going to be a lot to dive into for this subclass. So I'm going to do another video on it when it comes out and probably come up with some builds around it too. Moving on to 14th level, we pick up another feature. This is Lunar Empowerment. You further embody your lunar phase, bolster allied skill checks, improve your own ability to sneak and avoid attacks while in darkness, or boost your innate defenses depending on the lunar phase you're in. So we kind of got our themes right there. We have support, like sneaking, or like darkness is probably more accurate, and then boosting our innate defenses, so like a defensive form. That's pretty cool. So now we do have those extra abilities, so now we can switch our phases just to change these features essentially. That's really cool. I really like that. I feel like there's going to be a lot of nuance to this character, and hopefully there's not one that just shines above the rest and is like always be in this phase, but rather I hope it really incentivizes us to change based on the situation. That would be sick. Next up, we have Lunar Phenomenon, which we're getting at 18th level. As a bonus action, or as part of the bonus action you use to switch lunar embodiment phases, you can unleash the power of your current lunar embodiment phase. In the full moon phase, you burst with light, blinding nearby hostile creatures and healing 1 allied creature of your choice. Okay, so we know full moon is the light and the support. In new moon, you emanate gloom, reducing nearby enemy speed and becoming temporarily invisible. So that one is the debuff and sneaking. Very cool. During crescent moon, you can teleport yourself and 1 other creature and grant yourselves resistance to all damage until the start of your next turn. Crescent moon is our defense, and you don't have to limit yourself to choosing one of these per day. You can use each of these lunar phenomenon abilities once per long rest, or spend 5 sorcery points to use one again if you have a favorite. That's really cool. So we are getting more incentive to change your phases. I really like that, and it seems like they're going to be decently powerful, probably more powerful than any of the other sorcerers, maybe only competed by Clockwork, but overall it seems like it's going to be a real big powerhouse, and I'm excited to jump into it and do some builds. But let me know what you guys think about the Lunar Sorcerer in the comments down below, and other than that, I hope you have yourselves an amazing day, and I'll see you on the next one. Later.